And it's a Nobody Talks Shadchan podcast with Avery and IJ in the morning or evening. How's it going, Avery?
I'm doing pretty good.
It's good.
What's going on?
It's good that you're doing pretty good.
You know what? If I was single... Wait, I am single. So.
Oh, right.
I'm still... That's why I'm doing pretty good.
If I was married with the kids...
If I was dating... Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine right now what type of mood I'd be in?
You'd be coming home from a long, exhausted day of work instead of being able to come to this wonderful studio, live recorded audience right behind us. Everyone clap. But today we are on a very interesting topic in Shadchan, something that a lot of people have biggest problems with. The biggest problem in Shadchan are finding a Shadchan. That's a really big problem, right?
Yeah.
Think about if you're any of those in finance, for example, you're a mortgage, doing mortgages, doing finances, financial advisement, right? You got to find a client first before you can get that money.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and what is the role of a shadchan, And it's a tough distinction because a shadchan is supposed to be neutral, not biased.
Yeah.
They're a second party, aren't they? Considering they're a third party,
they are
not involved, but sometimes shadchanim have this tendency to get into this either they have this capacity to get their feelings involved in the actual shidduch, and it becomes very difficult for the two people who are dating.
It does, and it reminds me of something that happened to me a little bit ago. Had just got back into the market, or is it in the freezer?
I think it's out of the freezer.
I think it's out of the freezer. So it's back out of the freezer, in the market, looking for some new ideas. Had messaged a few shadchanim, hey, what's going on? Classic. Back in the market, looking for someone to go out to.
Right.
And I just lost it. And I was like, wait a second, why am I dealing with this person? I realized you have to understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Okay, so let's discuss. Where do you first, as a young single person, or even older single, where do you find a shadchan that suits you? First of all, the key is to find a shadchan that suits you. Because there's different types of shadchanim. There's shadchanim
if you can
from
find
Brooklyn.
a shadchan, if you can find the right shadchan, you're gonna find the right girl.
Who has your type? Yeah. Who has your type?
Someone once asked me here, and I did write it down. Someone asked me, question: do you feel like shadchanim give you what you're looking for, or do they give up on you? Good question, because that happens when people get a little older, in their late 20s, early 30s.
Right.
And I responded as follows. It was from the heart. I said, wow, that's a loaded question. The first thing is that there's a God, and one has a wedding date set up for him or her. Period. Wow, powerful. Next, there is not one single matchmaker out there who will solve anyone's problems. You need, I would say, 5 to 10 matchmakers every few months working on your case and marketing your resume out there.
Right.
People who don't do well in Shadchan don't do well because they are passive or way too active. One has to find the right balance, but must absolutely be active. Constantly finding new ideas, new matchmakers to deal with, and make sure that you get a good 5-minute phone call with them, especially if they're new, right?
Yeah.
So make sure they know who you are, what you are looking for, but be open.
Yeah.
They could be dealing with 50 people at a time, right? That's they're managing a lot of people, a lot of singles. Right, where people are singles here. I don't know what we refer to ourselves as. Let's call each other Rangers. Okay, Power Ranger, sir. No, and make sure that when you get on that phone call, you can have a good conversation and tell them who you are, what differentiates you. Everyone is so original and unique.
It's a very difficult thing because it's literally like a job search. And you're creating a resume, and you're literally just selling yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody likes to sell themselves. It's such an uncomfortable position. Hey, look, I have, imagine you're going out there to a shadchan to tell a girl, I'm 5'8.5", man. That's pretty cool.
No way.
Yeah, I got 2 degrees. Huh? I should be getting these incredible models models. And that's what they think, some people at least. Think that they should get, or a girl who has 6 degrees, did chesed, went to every Kids of Courage 1. Kids of Courage Rage. In Arizona. Kids of Courage in Vegas.
Yeah.
Kids of Courage in March.
We've done a Chabad campus for 3 years.
Gone to, right. Yeah. They were Mother Teresa reincarnated. Just imagine. So to think that these girls and guys think they're so good, we're all humans. We are all flawed. Not any one of us doesn't have flaws. And to look at a resume and judge based off that, and to say that a shotgun isn't sending me the right thing, obviously some people don't find the right ideas. But to say that a shotgun is sending me something that's totally off, maybe at least look into it. Give it a shot, give it a chance.
Always. And so I think you were asking me before about the shotgun.
Yeah, what type of shotgun, what do you think their role is in the process? Should they be super intertwined? Because to think about it, they're really somebody who doesn't necessarily, depending on who they are, doesn't know you so well, doesn't know the girl you're dating so well. They just happen to have put you together, in a way.
Yeah, well, a dating coach once gave me, who I've seen before. I've been to a few dating coaches, whatever. We've had Skype, WhatsApp, now more WhatsApp, right? And nothing recent, honestly. I feel like I rely on myself now more. But back in the day, I did. And they gave me really good advice. They said, if you can't talk about yourself, who is?
Right.
So make sure you can get in front of the mirror and give your 30-second sales pitch.
Right.
It's so important. A lot of people listening might be science majors. They might be in medicine. They might be working in plumbing, electronics, recruiting. They're not like, professional salesmen. Mm-hmm. But you have to get into that, and I think it's kind of like a job interview, which I have experience looking for jobs. So I remember getting coached by recruiters. Give a little bit about yourself. Hi, my name is so and so, and right. I grew up in this area. My family then moved somewhere else to this area, and I lived there with them. I went to this yeshiva. After that, I went to Israel for a year. I came back. I went to YU. Mm-hmm. I went to Stern, and I did a gap year, travel the world. Then kind of just like that, and then you kind of go back to like, now this is where I am in life.
And in that same vein, don't be scared, as if you're telling a recruiter. Don't be scared to tell shotgun. You know what? You have a lot of girls from Baltimore. You have a lot of girls from Florida. I really need a girl from Kentucky. Who knows where you need it from?
Kentucky.
Who knows?
Maybe that's where my bashert is.
Who the heck knows where girls come from? I don't, certainly, clearly to this point. But at the same time, don't ask shotgun to refer you to another shotgun. Another friend who may possibly work with them. Because let's be honest,
right?
Between all these WhatsApp groups and their kids and their cousins and their aunts and their aunts' kids and cousins, Jewish people have a lot of connections,
Yeah, one of my rebbeim say we're in the times of Mashiach because, WhatsApp, the internet, etc. I don't want to spook you out, but use that for dating,
Yeah.
Use it. It's so tough because you really do have to dedicate time to the search, and something I've been doing for years. It's very tough the first few phone calls. Mm-hmm. For example, I'm trying to remember a few years ago, basically signed up for online dating. Okay, everyone, I did Soyot Sinai.
Right.
And, a friend of mine was also doing Soyot Sinai. He showed me a little bit about the website, and I went on, and he's like, okay, those are your 2 shadchanim. Those are the 2 matchmakers. I said, I don't like those. I want to see who I have. He's like, right. And I just did it differently. So I went through the entire list. I messaged everyone,
wow.
Everyone I liked. I probably, from a list of whatever they had, 100 matchmakers, I liked maybe 5, 6 of them, and then eventually I got 2 to work with me. And it was a lot of cold calling. It's not something we're not used to. If you're in sales, you're used to it.
Yeah.
I've worked in sales before, and it was very similar.
Did rejection scare you? Were you scared of being rejected by these people?
Yeah, rejection does. I think it's a little easier with a shotgun, but even still, you never know what you're going to get because you call someone up, hey, my friend gave me your information, and she said I should contact you. I'm looking for some ideas. Okay, great. You could have the best phone call in the world. You could have a good 10-minute phone call, pounding that phone, and then
nothing.
She'll go, oh, well, you're such a great guy, but I don't know anyone for you. Oh, what are you wasting my time for? But, that's why it's good to have that elevator pitch, that like brief bio. Like, hey, this is a little bit about me. This is what I'm looking for. Right. I want to tell you a little bit more, but like, does it make sense?
Well, people are scared of the brief bio too. I know for myself. Like, I see a girl with a bio, I'm like, okay, what is wrong with her? What's going on in there? Why is she writing this much about herself? And why she likes children? It could be
yeah, right. You're 18 years old.
Yeah.
You start college in 2 weeks and you got a shidduch resume. It's like, look, you have 10 kids. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, mister. Yeah, but no, I mean, I've been back and forth about bios. I think people putting a bio, I mean, you have to have, there are two kinds of bio. I mean, you have the bio where you're conveying who you are and some things over to the shadchan, but then, of course, you also have a bio on your resume. Now I have one. Mm-hmm. I used to not have one. Mm-hmm. It just depends on the year. Mm-hmm. I kind of curtailed it to, like, just really weed out, like, people who, like, wouldn't make any sense.
So let me ask you another question, and then we'll go to my thoughts on this. What was the best shadchan experience you had? What made it the best?
She set me up with her daughter.
Yeah. And
I've had very, very good experiences out there with shadchanim. I've had some very bad ones as well. And at the end of the day, it was really kind of like just looking in the mirror and being like, okay, like that's not working for you. But to get the bloody details, yeah, I've met some really good, fine shadchanim who got me, and
why?
I think that's
what do you think
that's always.
What do you think they were in tune with? Maybe they dealt with someone like you before.
It's a skill that people have, is that they're just able to understand them. I think the number one thing to really look for today, in my personal opinion, and I think many would agree, is look for someone who has children in today's market who have been struggling setting people up in shidduchim. That's big, because someone who, has a maybe 25-year-old daughter or had a 30-year-old single son, will be able to relate to you and just get it. And
relatability.
I understand.
That's key.
Show some sympathy,
relatability is for sure. I remember I was at a bar in Muncie, and some shopman comes up to me. Hey, I'd love to meet you. You sound great. Oh, I'm going to get your resume. The first girl, I promise you, the first girl's name was, I think it was something like, the first girl she sent was named Catherine. And not that there's anything wrong, but I'm not of that ilk. I don't know. I'm not even sure she was Jewish, let's be honest.
But she was in the Rosh Yeshiva's class.
Yeah. And then the second girl was looking for a boy who's in learning. And I'm not in learning. I'm out of that world. I'm a working professional. Thankfully making a good living off this podcast.
Anyone who wants a sponsor out there.
Yeah, but finding have a shopman that can relate to you and what you are looking for is so key. So key.
And how do you, let me ask you something, because this is definitely something I struggle with. Many people, like, how do you handle yourself if you're at a simcha, if you're on Central Avenue, the Five Towns, if you're on Avenue J in Brooklyn, or wherever you are,
Evergreen and Muncie.
And
Collins Avenue in Miami.
Right. And then LA, Pico Boulevard.
Pico.
So how do you handle yourself when someone notices you, come and says, oh, hey, whatever, you bump into them and they just like, oh, tell me about yourself. I want, what do you, a lot of people put up a front. I've put up a front before where like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
What are some best practices to handle that?
I just be real, because that's all you have. All you have is you, at the end of the day, you're dating somebody, and no matter what date it is, no matter what shadchan it is, the truth will come out. They'll find out who you are, and you have to just be open and honest with what your issues are, what your flaws are, so you don't go to minion 3 times a day, so you don't wear your skirt past your knees, so you don't plan on wearing shades till after you're married. These things will eventually come out, and you'll have to be honest about it. So you go to movies and you watch TV. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's fine. But just be open and honest with who you are and what you do, and don't be scared if it's a from Shadchan who thinks you're not from, or a not from Shadchan, or a YU Shadchan who thinks you're not from.
But you could you could also get into, I'm very well put, and you could also get into trouble long term with that, because Shadchan won't want to work with you if you're, kind of a little bit confused. But at the same time also, I think it's important to convey, especially when you get a little older in shidduchim, when you're, above, you're 24, you're 25, you're good. But like once you kind of hit over 25, now you're in late 20s.
Yeah.
You got to kind of maybe just describe that person you have been or want to be, because obviously those later years, stuff happens, right? Your work, you're getting a little down, maybe a little bit more Netflix is comfy. So
I think by 25, I don't know about girls, I can't speak to them per se, but for guys, by 25, they kind of figure out, like, we each have our own issues, and we're so consumed on, our own issues. We stop comparing ourselves to the other person, because all you can think about is, I have so many issues with my job, or I have so many issues with schooling, I have so many issues with loans, I have so many issues with my family that I can't even remember when I was comparing myself to somebody else. Like, I remember doing it, but that was like when I was 18 and 19. Like, I was in yeshiva. I was like in high school. I think for girls, by 23, they get very burnt out. They kind of realize, hey, schooling, at least for a lot of girls, schooling and education, it's not necessarily what I really want. It's not necessarily what
It's not
all
doing
it sounds.
It's not doing it.
Yeah. I think meaning becomes more important. And I think guys kind of have that sense already of what values and what meaning is. Girls, they kind of have to live that, live that out. It can become very tough for them. But if we go back to the Shadchan topic.
But I would say on that last part is that, definitely I think women get it more together as they get older in those 20s, and men, they don't hold it together as well.
Right.
Just the world we're living in today, how the millennials are. But back on that Shadchan, right, on the Shadchan topic. Yeah, but if you could, of course, convey, if you can just, be honest, convey, it's good, but also people do want to feel a little guarded, a little protected, and it's easier said than done, because if you're like in them, you're on some Jewish street and you're like, it's your day off, you're relaxing, you don't want to think about it. You're gonna lash out. You're gonna be like, "Let me alone!" Like, shut up! Like, what's the big deal, man?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I've tried setting people up. I've done it myself. I've tried setting up a friend, and it's very easy to get upset at somebody, for saying, hey, this guy, oh, he's so dull, he's so boring, he's such a square. Why does he wear a pocket square? Why are his pants
that pocket square looks really good on me. Okay.
No pocket squares look good. Let's be frank. I don't care if you're Donald Trump, if you're Barack Obama, Republican, Democrat, pocket squares are out.
Well,
but at the end of the day,
you're clearly going to get married.
At the end of the day, keep your feelings out of the Shadchan and technically client relationship, because
client relationship,
the feeling is between the person and the person they're dating, not between the Shadchan and the guy who they're setting up.
Right.
So easy to get that line crossed, and it's happened to everybody. Let's be honest.
They're just the messenger. But with that said, there's so many that just are terrible messengers. Terrible messengers. I mean, what messenger movie? Mm-hmm. Imagine Frodo Baggins bringing that ring.
Oh man, I had a girl. Listen to this one. You'll love this one. Okay, I said yes to a girl. She calls.
We'll pause there.
She calls me up and she says, you said yes to this girl a year ago. Very attractive, smart, pretty girl. I said yes to her. She calls me. She's like, she just said yes to you. And when do you want to go out? So I said, okay, sure. I'd love to go out on Wednesday or whatever it was. Who the hell knows? I'd love to go out Wednesday, Thursday, the next day. She calls me back up. She says, oh, hey, Avery, I'm sorry. She actually referred another girl who said yes to you, not this actual girl.
Oh, God.
And I was like, what the hell, man? It's like,
It's
you
annoying.
paying attention? Are you paying attention to the world? But at the end of the day, I just kind of
It'd be nice if you had someone defending you, and being like, okay, that's not what he's looking for. He's okay. He doesn't need your pity send.
Yeah.
Unless I think if you just word it right, like, look, I think, this guy would be really good for this girl. Mm-hmm. I'm busy now, whatever.
She apologized, but
did
still,
you let loose on her? Did you
no, it just kind of it just changed my perspective of her. Like, I can't think of her in the same, I can't just give her an easy guess. Yeah. I can't use her as much as I would like to,
Oh, God, I know. It's tough, saying goodbye to relationships like that, because I've met some matchmakers who are really great people in my neighborhood or in another neighborhood where I'd visit, and we'd be friends-ish, because that one screw up, you gotta kind of manage the emotions properly, and they have to understand that. A shotgun has to understand, I get these messages after I'll connect with a shotgun. Okay, great. Please, I'll get back to you if it's a yes or no from the girl.
Right.
I don't want to hear, no kvetching. I'll be like, this business is all kvetching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then don't do me a favor. I'll go find someone else to set it up, because you have to be able to handle, someone who's going to cry a little. It's a very emotional thing. It's constant rejection over and over again.
Constant rejection.
And, people say, oh, don't get your hopes up. Get your hopes up. I totally disagree. You want something to hold on to that's meaningful.
I think another topic we'll have for a future podcast is how to turn that rejection into motivation. And, because we've all been said no to.
How do you do that? I don't know.
We've all been said no to. We've all been said, he's not for me. She's looking for something else. We've all got those magic words.
He doesn't know what he wants.
Right.
That's a biggie.
I never got that. I never got that. He doesn't know what he wants.
I don't know.
Maybe for you.
She doesn't know what he wants.
I think that
happens all the time. You got me. No, I don't know. I'm just trying to throw it out there. There are other perspectives aside from us.
True. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyhow, so I think we'll cut it short at this.
Well, no, because we did want to also just talk a little bit more about the shadchanim as well. So I would just say, just to kind of put everything into summation. Find a shadchan. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of volume, and get a good text together. Hey, this is so and so. I received your information from a friend or this person. I'd like to discuss some ideas with you.
Yeah.
Attached is my picture and my resume.
Definitely send the picture.
Okay.
Definitely,
of course. Send 3 pictures. This is a shotgun.
Send a picture of your dog. Okay? Send everything you can.
Send it all. No Anthony Weiner pictures. But send it all over. Let them, get an idea. You got to send a lot of those out. Don't think, I just sent 2, And by the way, this is I think guys maybe overdo it with, and then girls underdo it. Because every girl I've went out with in the past 2 or 3 years, I've asked so what, how's it going at Shadchan? And girls today really don't make an effort trying to find shadchanim, and I understand that because they're because it's tough. It's very, very tough.
It is tough
because you've been through so much rejection already.
Mm-hmm.
but push through. Like, try to get like somebody, even if they're not a shadchan professionally or a side hustle. Like, find a friend of yours who's married and can, or a mentor, an aunt who just knows you and you can talk to.
Yeah.
Let them do it for you. You know, it's not a bad strategy to do. I think a guy likes to handle it more himself, and especially many girls might start out in the beginning just, through their parents. They might do it through their parents. So, once you kind of get that volume going, I know you'll start seeing a lot more reward.
Certainly.
All right, this has been Nobody Talks Shidduchim, the podcast for shidduchim and venting.
We'll see you next week with or without sponsors.
Yeah, if you're interested in sponsoring our podcast, please email us. What was the email again? It was...
Nobody Talks.
No, we had like a Gmail email.
We had a Gmail?
It was...
WikiLeaks.org.
It was askthematchmaker.org at gmail.com.
Askthematchmaker.org. That is ASK.
Yes, it was Ask the Matchmaker, because those are 3 words very easy to spell. So askthematchmaker.org at gmail.com. All right, this is Nobody Talks Shidduchim.
We'll see you next week.
We've actually made some updates for our email. It is nobodytalkspodcast@aol.com. That's nobodytalkspodcast@aol.com. If you'd like to sponsor, if you want feedback, input, we want it, everyone. So send any ideas, any topics to nobodytalkspodcast@aol.com. See you next time.
The LMNO Broadcast Network.